Welcome to the Press Box, a presentation by the Dispatch and the Rock Island Argus, sponsored by Zeglin's TV and Appliance. My name is Daniel Makarewicz, sports writer for the Dispatch Argus. To my left is Mr. DJ Jarvis, also a sports writer for the Dispatch Argus. DJ, it's week 9, regular season finale of high school football.
It's kind of flown by, too.
That's the season that goes by the quickest, to me, is football. It seems like yesterday it's August, and now it's the end of October. We're talking about leaves changing, autumn wind, and playoff football. But first, we have to finish week 9 of the regular season. And I guess the big topic of conversation is going to be Moline at 4-4, hosting Normal U High 6-2. Moline, to gain playoff eligibility, needs a win in that game. You're going to cover it. What do you think is going to shake out at Browning Field?
I mean, they've played big recently. I mean, I know they had the loss 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But you think how big they put up a ton of points against Rock Island last week. I mean, I know it's UT, but you got to win those games.
Yes.
And they sure showed out. Their defense played big. Dakari Marsh had,
72 rushing yards.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best running backs in Illinois, and they shut him down.
Yeah, you look at Moline and you think about the strides they've taken as a team. Last year, 2-7. A year before, 1-8. Now we're talking about playoffs with Moline. I think some credit does have to go to Mike Tracy for being able to get that program turned around so quickly and get them to play at this level. I think it's a winnable game. U-High, the 2 losses they've had are against the 2 teams that currently have a winning record on their schedule, to Bloomington Central Catholic, and then last week to Pontiac. And Moline, physical, big. I do think that Moline gets in. The question is, will they have enough power points? They're saying 34 might be it. Moline has 33 going into tonight. So you'd like to think Moline will have something to play for. Still a little bit disappointed because had the Big Six finish in a 5-way tie, Moline, if the tiebreaker was what it was, defensive points allowed against the other 4, Moline would have gotten the playoff.
Right.
So you think Moline will have something to play for at home. I think Moline, that's a game that they win. The next one will go to Rock Island. I have to make the trip to Michigan tonight. Rock Island against Ypsilanti, the Grizzlies. What do you think the Rocks are going to do, having it already sealed? Big Six, playoff appearance, road trip. What do you expect the Rocks doing on that trip to Michigan? Pound
the ball. I mean, use Trey Nimmers as much as possible. Kind of get in there, make sure you don't have – and nobody gets hurt. Make sure you get the win, because there is a difference between the 5-4, 6-3, basically where you go. I think they're a very dynamic offense too, so they're kind of going to be able to throw different things, but I think you stick to what's true and you run your football and you get out of there, try to win the game, but you get out of there clean.
Alleman, first time, I think it was like 164 games that they are going to be playing a game eliminated from playoff contention when they go to Burbank St. Lawrence, 6-2 St. Lawrence. Head coach played for the Seahawks, played for Northwestern. Alleman's a proud program, a tradition-rich program. Do you think that they'll go to the south suburbs and roll over, or will they go there and try to end the season on a win?
I see them trying to end the season on a win, kind of get something rolling for next year, because, I mean, they still have – I mean, I know a lot of their big playmakers are older, but they still have a lot of guys who are hungry and want to get this ready for next season and fight.
UT, 6 o'clock start, playing Chicago North Grand. North Grand's in a branch of the public league that's ineligible for the playoffs. They're playing well. UT has not been playing well recently, but you would think that at the end of the season you'd like to see UT try to end, because when you play a public league team like that, you would think that you have a shot. Let's hope that UT can end that long home losing streak and can end the season on a win. A big one, Geneseo 7-1 hosting 7-1 DeKalb. I have been bashing Geneseo's schedule this whole season, but I looked at it. The power points for them are pretty solid. This is, I think, a perfect game for them to end the season. Do you think that a situation like this, where you're playing a good opponent like that, really can help you win or lose when it comes to the playoffs next week?
I do, but I think this is kind of a must-win for them, just so they can
guaranteed home game,
guaranteed home, get the higher seed, and sometimes if you're sitting with the 2 losses, sometimes you're getting that second round game that against a 5-4 team that is hungry and can kind of come and punch you in the mouth and surprise you.
We have a couple 4-4s on the area side. Erie Prophetstown hosting Spring Valley Hall, 6-2. Also a 6-2 United going to 4-4 Mercer County. Mercer County, Erie Provincetown, what do you think is going to happen with them? Are they going to get a win? Because both should get in with a win.
Right.
Are they going to get that win?
I like Erie Provincetown. I know a couple weeks ago they lost Dylan Binion.
Yeah.
He's
had some injury problems.
Yeah, he was hurt, and he finally got things rolling again next week. I like them to get a win.
Yeah.
Just because they're kind of that team that has a high ceiling, and at times they haven't really met that high ceiling. And I just feel like that's a team that can kind of do it. And with Mercer County, Nat Zunkel, he's done it before. Yeah. He's kind of taken these teams and said, okay, he gets them ready for those games.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's Mercer County. It's a school that you're like, okay, with your Geneseos and Alleman prior to this year, you can almost guarantee they're going to make the playoffs, and just can't imagine them not getting there.
Well, Rock Ridge at 5-3, win gets them in for sure. I see them beating Kewanee, and then you have Orion. I see them. I mean, playing Riverdale. They should be able to get to 8-1. Those are the key ones. Anawan Weathersfield going to Mid County, 6-2. Mid County 7-1. Anawan Weathersfield. I like the Titans in that game. I like how they're playing. Other than that, I mean, really not much playoff implications.
Back to
their
Rock Ridge. I went up to see them in Fulton last week.
Yeah.
And you got to think their losses: Spring Valley, Orion, Sterling Newman.
Yeah.
Only one of those losses has come since Michael Griffin took over as quarterback.
Rock Ridge is not a team I would want to play early in the playoffs, especially because I figured they would probably get on the road. They should be able to win that, and then a second-round game at home. Rock Ridge is a team I just really wouldn't want to mess with right now.
They're a whole different team from week 2 when they went to Spring Valley to last week against Fulton. It was weird because the first 2 plays, I mean, I know it's early to tell something. The first 2 plays, Fulton just punched him in the mouth, and then Sam Graves just said, okay, enough of this, and they started passing the ball, which made the Fulton safeties drop back, and then you have their number 2 running back, Nathan Parchett, rushes for 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. You got to think, Dalton Weber is going to be ready to go in the playoffs, and that just the dynamic where they can have 2 backs come in there and do something, and then Griffin is just a whole different quarterback.
How was the trip home from Fulton on Friday?
I got lost in Clinton.
Okay, that happened. Well, I'll be making the trip to St. Joseph, Michigan tonight to cover Rock Island. I know I won't be getting lost there.
I might get lost coming home from Browning Field.
Well, good luck to that. Just, wow, I don't know how that would be possible, but I wish you luck on the trip home. Again, we'll have reporters at Browning Field, Soul Bowl, Bob Reed Field, Burbank, St. Joseph, Michigan, Aledo, I think Prophetstown, at least 7 games.
Speaking of Geneseo, I saw on Twitter DeKalb. They're really excited to come play at Bob Reed Field.
They had a picture of the stadium and everything, tradition-rich program, and DeKalb has become a pretty consistent program after being dormant for a long time. But we've wrapped up week 9. Hopefully you guys checked the game, but make sure to grab the Dispatch Argus on Saturday morning. If not, we'll talk to you later.